I wonder what's the longest you've had to wait for something. For me, I remember when I felt like I wanted to be a midwife, and then that was my plan for so many years. And then I felt that actually that's something that I didn't want to do anymore. So I remember all my friends around me saying, I think that you should go to Bible college. And I remember thinking to myself, maybe I should go to Bible college. So I prayed about it to see if God could give me a sign, or if he can give me some kind of guidance to what I should do next. I didn't hear anything. There was absolute silence for 3 months. I wonder if you've ever experienced something similar. Maybe it's waiting for a parcel to arrive, or waiting for Christmas to come around so you can get those presents, which feels like it takes forever. Or maybe even waiting for that holiday you've been waiting for in the summer.
Yeah, I guess the truth is, nobody enjoys waiting. For me as well, I don't enjoy it that much. And especially when you know what it is that you are waiting for. So imagine if you had this one something that you were waiting for, you knew exactly what it was. And imagine if you were getting older and older, it's been years and years and you still haven't seen it yet. And then you get so excited that you tell your children about it. Time goes on and you know what, your children, they tell their children about it. And then you actually die, and then long after, your children's children start telling their children about it. And then imagine if, even after 400 years, you'd still not yet received that thing that you knew you were going to.
And that is the story that we find in the Bible. We end the Old Testament with a promise being made. Now, God had sent his prophets to his people with messages of condemnation and judgment, but also hope. But amongst those prophecies were also these prophecies of a coming Messiah, someone that was going to save God's people, and more than that, restore them to their kind of former glory. Now, the reality was that God's people had had a rough time of it because of their own disobedience. Many had seen their homes destroyed, many had been sent into exile, some had returned from exile, but those that did were under really harsh rulers. And so these prophecies that were being made gave them this sense of hope and expectation that even though their current circumstances were hard, there was a promise that it wasn't always going to be like that. And so they waited and they waited. And first, the Babylonians, followed by the Persians, were in control of God's people, and still they waited. Following that came the Greeks and Alexander the Great. And some people believe that Alexander the Great was this Messiah that people had been waiting for, but he wasn't. And so they waited more. And then there was this Jewish revolt, and that didn't last long because afterwards the Romans came in and they were the big powerful force of the day, and still the Jewish people waited, and some were praying and expecting this military leader from heaven to come down to wipe out the Romans and restore them to their former glory. But they waited and they waited, and then Jesus.
On the backdrop of waiting for all of these years and the promises that were made came Jesus. Not a military general, not a high-class influencer, but a baby born in a stable. Now, imagine that thing that you were waiting for finally arrived. How would you feel? Would you feel fulfilled? But imagine if the very thing that you were waiting for and expecting came in a different way. How would that make you respond?
So as you go on from the Old Testament to the New Testament, you see a story of a long wait finally fulfilled, but not in the way that you were expecting.
And we've been waiting for a while as well for you to like and subscribe and tell everybody you know about it. We're not going to be happy until you do that, so please get it done now.
Have a good one.
Now!